WHBC for the Akron Children's Hospital School Closings Report. Pam and Canton's Morning News will let you know whether your school is closed,
school's going to be closed,
delayed,
the big thing is getting the power restored,
or if it's business as usual. Get your school closings from News Talk 1480 WHBC.
Make sure you tune into the radio.
Brought to you by Akron Children's Hospital, where we have one focus: kids.
Wouldn't you like to hear some good news? We'll share all kinds of stories.
Most of our children are brought or picked up by grandparents. They play a big part in the children's lives in nursery school. Children have not changed at all.
Hi, I'm Pam Cook. Go to WHBC.com and submit a nomination. Share the good, Stark County. Canton's Morning News with Pam Cook.
Share the good, Stark County. Brought to you by the Canton Regional Chamber of Commerce and News Talk 1480 WHBC. Live from the WHBC Broadcast Center. Find out more about area businesses, agencies, and events.
It's what's going on right now.
This is Spotlight on Stark County with Pam Cook and Gary Rivers.
Well, wait a minute. Spotlight. It's Monday morning. What are we doing a spotlight for?
It's a special edition of Spotlight.
Okay.
A very important special edition of Spotlight. Good morning, everyone. Pam Cook, Gary Rivers. And yes, it is Spotlight on Stark County. Don't forget, you can watch us live on Facebook right this very moment. Just go to our Facebook page, 1480 WHBC, and like it, and you can watch us. But today, we're going to talk about, well, some new plans at Gervasi. And we have in studio with us Scott Swaldo, who is owner and general manager of GV Destinations. That's your official title, correct?
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Hey, thank you for being here. This is going to be fun.
I'm excited about this. You have to tell us. So first, let's start with the plans that you announced last week.
Yeah, we have two exciting new projects. One is a 24-room boutique hotel that we're going to build on property to add to the villas that we already have. And then the second part of the project is a brand new distillery. And I've actually had people ask me, what is a distillery? So distilleries make spirits. So we'll be making bourbon, vodka, gin, things of that nature, some specialty products that kind of in our Italian theme and playing off our Vineyard roots. And that will have a beautiful cocktail lounge and also a welcome center that's part of it.
Nice.
Yeah,
So tour buses, they come in, they end the tour with a big shot and a...
Well, we really are starting to get more buses. A lot of people really are interested in tour experiences. So they want to not just, enjoy the products, but learn about it. So the winery has, public tours on Saturdays that have been really popular. We do a lot of private tours, and the distillery will do the same. It'll have a lot of learning experiences. People can come in and really see how spirits are made and really have a wonderful experience learning about the property, but then obviously get to enjoy the products and a cool atmosphere. So we're excited.
Let's go back kind of to the beginning. So for folks who don't know a whole lot about Gervasi, I'm not sure there's a lot of people out there that, but talk about, how this whole thing got started, the land and where you're at.
Yeah, we're approaching our 8-year anniversary. We opened in March of 2010, and at that time it was just a small winery. The bistro was at the time intended to be just kind of a casual small restaurant, and we had a little gift shop. And how that came to be was my dad had retired, and he was looking for something to do, and he was kind of an active person and didn't want to sit around and hang out in Florida. That didn't work out for him so well. So he discovered the property. That came first. So it was this amazing 55-acre estate. At the time, it was a tree farm that was pretty, dilapidated, but you could see it had a lot of potential. It had this beautiful lake and creek bed running through it. The barn was positioned in a way where it had beautiful view of the lake. The farmhouse was still there. So we just saw a lot of potential in it. Decided to buy the property at the time, not exactly knowing what we would do with it, but then quickly the idea of the winery was born. So fast forward to March of 2010, just a little over a year later, we opened, and then we just quickly have grown and really listened to what people want from us and what they expect from the experience. So that's when we added the overnight stay option, and then, of course, the outdoor pavilion for weddings. And later on, the Crush House came because we needed a brand new state-of-the-art winery and another more casual restaurant option, and now what we're talking about today.
Wow. That's pretty fast.
It is. It's one of the things that I think we kind of excel in, that my dad brings to our culture, is that moving fast, but doing it without cutting corners, and just being really responsive is something I think that we really pride ourselves in, and it's brought us to this point. We've had a couple year pause. I think people expected us to do something every year, but after we opened the Twisted Olive offsite in 2014, we've had a 2-3 years here, just focusing on what we already have.
Mm-hmm.
And as we looked at, are there pieces missing or something more that we should be doing to solidify what we've now become, which is a resort, we said we don't have enough hotel rooms. We clearly are turning away a lot of people. The wedding part of our business is very strong, but it also takes up a lot of the hotel rooms because they book so far in advance, and then tourists, and then during the week, corporate groups aren't really able to get the number of rooms that they wish. So the hotel just really seemed like what we needed to do to solidify that resort experience and satisfy the need.
Well, maybe folks don't know that you have corporate meetings out there. Why don't you? What are your facilities like for corporate meetings?
Well, what corporate guests often looking for is the overnight stay component, because a lot of times they're out of town guests, or there's people that want to bring everyone together where they kind of have a team building type of environment. And then we have meeting space. We have the Villa Grande, which has a ballroom which can be divided into a couple different types of meeting room setups. We also have an executive boardroom type environment. And then, of course, they always want entertainment. So what we can provide then is private dining experiences in the restaurants. They can, do the winery experience if they want to do something fun. We have cooking classes.
Yeah.
So there's really, we have a lot to offer them because they're looking for all those things. And then they're in a beautiful environment where they're getting, world-class service and things like that.
Yeah. Talk about what a boutique hotel is.
Well, it's kind of one of those sometimes phrases people don't really know what it means exactly. But I think when you get, when you're under 75 or 50 rooms, under that threshold, I think you fit into the boutique area. Bed and breakfast is the other end of the spectrum, really small, maybe, a few rooms up to 5 or 10. So we're in that middle group where you're providing a higher end experience and a more intimate setting. And that's where our little niche is. We're not going to satisfy the person that's looking for a big hotel with, 24-hour room service and things like that. But they're looking for a really luxury environment and a unique setting with, special amenities and just really beautiful surroundings.
Now, if you drive into Gervasi, tell us where the distillery is going to be and where this hotel will be.
So as you come down the lane, there's only one way in and one way out at Gervasi, a la 55th. As you go past the bistro, you kind of go through the curvy area.
Right.
A lot of people know you have the South Vineyard on your right. Right before you cross the one-lane bridge over to the Crush House is a big open field on your right. So the distillery will sit right there, right up against the road. It's going to be a really beautiful setting and a really unique building. That's where the distillery will sit with the Welcome Center and the public house kind of setup. Behind that, back behind the gas well, if people have ever noticed that, will be the hotel. And then there's actually additional land in the far corner that will still be undeveloped. But we have 55 acres, and only, I think that area I'm talking about, it's about 20 to 25 acres that's undeveloped. So it's a little, unexpected, but it is still there.
Yeah. Wow. So you move from that. What's the timeline? You've announced it's starting. When will it all be done and unveiled?
Well, we're hoping to break ground in March. We're on schedule for that. We'll start, putting in the drives and start moving dirt and things like that. We don't have the exact timeline yet, but we expect to be possibly open by late this year, or it may spill into first of next year. Of course, with the distillery, you have to make products, so it's more than just finishing the building. It's actually getting into production. So our goal would be to get the production area finished first, so we could start making product and then finish the rest of the building.
Well, how long does it take to make the products you're going to make? I mean, is it like a several-year project?
It's a good question. Wine is kind of interesting because wine takes, often years of aging, and actually that's true when it comes to bourbons. To be a bourbon, a quality bourbon, you really want to be age it for 3 to 4 years. So that obviously will take some time before we're actually selling product that we make completely on site. What we'll be doing instead with bourbon is sourcing product through relationships, and then we're going to create a unique product which is wine barrel aged bourbon. So it'll start in regular whiskey barrels, traditional aging process, and then we'll put the bourbon in our barrels for the final 6 months to a year, which really creates a unique flavor profile. It's really kind of a nice way to round out the flavors. We actually did a product with Watershed Distillery a couple months ago. We did like a partnership and released the product that was in our wine barrel, and people loved it. So we know that it's going to be well received. When it comes to like gin and vodka and things like that, you're probably talking about really just about a month or two to get product, packaged and ready. It's a much faster process.
Oh, okay.
So it's full range.
So that'll be part of what, that's why tour groups are going to love this, because they'll get this whole educational component to it.
It is, and not that this matters, but I guess it kind of does matter. Stills are really beautiful, and they're really cool looking. They're unique structures. They're like works of art. They're copper and stainless steel, and they're really kind of dramatic looking. And we're going to have a big, huge picture window that's in the public area that'll look into the production area, and then there'll also be a big window on the outside of the building that from the street side, street level, you'll be able to see this beautiful still. So they'll get to see that. They'll get to understand, how you start with different products, grains, and you can even start with grapes, actually. You can make vodka from grapes and grape juice. So we're going to explore that a little bit. Wow. And then you go through a mashing process and, fermentation. Then you go through an actual still, which is really just like a condensation type, process that, takes the moisture out of the air and turns it into the liquid that goes in the bottle. And of course, packaging, watching it being bottled will be part of the experience as well.
That has to be pretty exciting. I mean, considering, you start with this vineyard and your wine and all of those things and then move into that. That has to be pretty exciting.
It is, and it's, my background's totally different. I'm actually was in healthcare, and after that, manufacturing. So this is all new to us, but we're learning, and we're surrounding ourselves with people who know a lot more about it than we do. And it's an exciting business, and the craft distillery world is relatively new and cutting edge. We're reading a lot of national articles saying, it's the next craft beer movement. It's the next wave, and we feel excited to be one of the first in our area and in Ohio. We think it's a great fit to what we already do with the winery, and it tends to be a little more skewed towards millennials and men, whereas wine is more women and a little older. So we feel like we're filling a void and maybe giving people more options, more reasons to visit, and something for everyone kind of feel.
Nice. We're going to be back in just a few moments. Ask more. What's going on at Gervasi right after this?
Bringing a whole new attitude to your afternoons. It's Kenny and JT.
We're going to talk about this hat right now.
Scott Garcia, head football coach at Glenna.
So I've got a green hat. All it says is Eagles on it. And I came up with this brainstorm. I will wear this hat at the sideline of a Glenna Golden Eagle football game.
That's genius, isn't it, Coach?
That's great. That's great. It's got to be the McKinley game, though.
What? Oh, man. Throw me under the bus.
Yes. Oh, I love you, Coach.
It's Kenny and JT. Check it out weekdays between 3 and 7 on News Talk 1480 WHBC.
Crown keeps you warm and we keep you cool.
We're here for you day or night.
Blustering cold or slushy mess? I think we can all agree that the place to be during the winter months of Northeast Ohio is indoors. If your New Year's resolution is to save money with an energy-efficient HVAC system, as well as to ensure your family's comfort year-round, now's the perfect time to call Crown Heating and Cooling. And as part of Crown's winter promotion, from now until February 28th, when you buy a 90% or above furnace and a minimum 13-SEER AC system, you'll get a Rheem water heater for free and up to a $475 rebate. Crown's expertly installed systems include high-efficiency filtration systems, Wi-Fi-enabled thermostats, carbon monoxide detectors, and a complimentary membership with our Crown Comfort Club. Crown is proud to feature Carrier, the premier heating and cooling brand, and estimates are always free at Crown. Call today and find out how much you can save when you turn to the Carrier experts at Crown. 330-400-2226 or on the web at crowngroupohio.com. Ohio license number 27133.
Call Crown Heating and Cooling.
Message and data rates may apply.
You don't follow the herd. You blaze your own trail. And you're as adventurous in the kitchen as you are in life. Whether it's paddleboard yoga or Peruvian steak, you're the first to try new things. So are we. We're Green Chef, the first USDA-certified organic meal kit delivery service. We offer delicious meal plans for 7 different lifestyles: paleo, gluten-free, keto, vegetarian, vegan, carnivore, and omnivore. Want to be the first of your friends to try Green Chef? Discover our exclusive introductory deal by texting the keyword BITE to 543-543. We believe that cooking, just like life, should be all about experience and flavor. And by exploring dinner options with Green Chef, you'll try new recipes, techniques, and ingredients for bold, new restaurant-level flavors. It's like enjoying a new cooking class, but in your own home. To experience this culinary adventure, text now and discover our exclusive introductory deal. Text BITE to 543-543. That's BITE to 543-543.
As a small business owner, you're juggling it all. including customers' calls from your personal phone. But with Grasshopper, you get a business phone number and a business phone system from our mobile app, so you can work smarter, not harder. Grasshopper forwards calls, texts, even transcribes voicemails. Everything you need to simplify your business and stay responsive. With Grasshopper, there's no long-term contracts, and customer support is 24/7. Whether you're starting or growing your business, Grasshopper is the answer. Now get $20 off your first month when you visit grasshopper.com/radio.
If you change nothing about what you're doing right now, what do you think the chances are of you having a successful retirement? I'm Andy Smith, certified financial planner with Financial Engines. Let's say you don't change your 401k. You don't change your Social Security strategy. You never figure out how much you're going to have to pay for health care. Do you think you'll have enough money to last you through retirement? As America's largest independent investment advisor, according to Investment News, Financial Engines offers help to more than 9 million people. We provide objective, personal, comprehensive planning advice that you need to make informed financial decisions, now, up to, and through retirement. Get to financialengines.com and we'll connect you with a professional financial advisor in your area who'll help create a financial plan that'll tell you what you should be doing right now to help increase your chances of having a successful retirement.
This is John Hubbard with Financial Engines in the Cleveland, Akron area. Let's talk about the financial goals that are important to you, and together we'll develop a plan to help make them happen. Call me at 440-934-9933 or visit financialengines.com.
Make 2018 the year you finally finish the project you've always wanted, and let J&M Carpentry make it happen. Whether it's custom decks, riding arenas, pole barns, garages, both residential or commercial, J&M Carpentry offers generations of Amish craft work, the best there is. With modern professional site management, A+ rated with the BBB, J&M Carpentry provides the quality you want for your projects. Call for a free quote at 330-231-0125, 330-231-0125, and see their work online at jmcarpentryltd.com.
Now back to Spotlight with Pam and Gary.
21 minutes after 9 o'clock on News Talk 1480 WHBC. We're back to our Spotlight.
We're getting quite the education here, Mr. Rivers, aren't we?
I know. Pass that bottle over here.
No, we're not allowed to do that. Actually, it's a special edition of Spotlight on Stark County on this Monday morning, February 5th. And again, yes, we are live on Facebook as well, so you can go to our Facebook page and watch the video. You can do that later as well. And we have in studio with us Scott Swaldo, who is owner and general manager of GV Destinations, Gervasi Vineyard, and made the announcement last week that you guys are doing the expansion with the hotel and the distillery. A lot goes into that. You've done a lot. This didn't just happen overnight, did it?
Yeah, I was telling you in the break, the distillery is really been something we think about for several years. We tried to explore it when we opened the Twisted Olive because we thought it would be great to make that the distillery and kind of complement the Gervasi being the winery, but the laws in Ohio at the time didn't support us doing that. You couldn't have food service be a part of a distillery and part of the same company. So the laws have progressed and changed and freed up the ability for us to get into the distillery business while we're also a winery and build it on the same property. So we're really excited about that.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting. And we were also talking about, I mean, I would imagine that you get a lot of out-of-town visitors, not just me or Gary bringing people, but visitors coming to stay. We do. We definitely have, become a big part of the tourism industry. We started out as being more local. That was our focus, and we certainly welcome and need that to be, part of our core business, the Tuesday night diner who lives down the street kind of thing. But when you think about, again, the overnight stay and everything else we have to offer, best we can tell, we're drawing, regularly from about a 4 to 6 hour drive on a regular basis. Certainly Cleveland, Pittsburgh, Columbus markets, even though we have travelers from Chicago and Indianapolis, up in the Finger Lakes area, people that are following the wine industry. So we're really proud of that. We think, best we can tell, we're drawing about 250,000 visitors a year. Probably, 40 to 50% of that on a regular basis are tourists from out of the area. Certainly in our wedding business, we see about 60 to 70% of our weddings are out-of-county customers who are bringing people into the area, learning about Canton, Stark County, and having their wedding. And You've had famous people get married there, too.
We have had a few famous people get married there, and we always have to be, respect their confidentiality, right. So we don't really talk about it much until maybe after the fact when we get permission. But, we've had some people that have some connections to the area that, the guy Turtle from Entourage got married there.
Right. I saw that on Twitter.
Yeah, that was interesting. We had to, sign confidentiality agreements because they wanted to sell their story to tabloids and that kind of thing. And of course, if we would have spilled it in advance, it would have ruined
It wouldn't have
that.
been- yeah.
So then the day of their wedding, they bust it loose, and the world's like, "Why didn't you tell anybody?" I'm like, "Well, I can't, I'd be in big trouble."
It's amazing when you deal with that, when you have to have confidentiality agreements because they're selling the tabloids for crying out
Exactly.
loud.
I know. I've learned a lot. It's been fun. So we're really honored to be able to host weddings. It's one of the biggest days in people's lives, and we do over 120 of them a year. So and growing. So that's a big part of what we do.
Yeah.
Well, how far? I suppose for those thinking of planning weddings, how far in advance do they have to book out there?
Well, it depends. It comes down to what you want. If you want a Saturday night, of course, is the prime time. Probably looking at for the pavilion, the outdoor venue, which is the more desirable one, which is expanding, by the way. We're in the middle of production or construction. Will be expanding that from 200 to 300 guest capacity. Be ready for this season. That book's probably anywhere from about a year in advance. So like 2019 Saturdays are mostly sold. Now, because of that, we also have, sold, we basically book a lot of Friday and Sunday weddings. So those are a little more available. There's still a few Fridays and Sundays left for this summer, for example. Now, the indoor facility, the Villa Grande, which has a capacity about 120, that probably is in the 6-month range in most cases. Again, we still have some dates available for this year, but it just depends on when. There's those peak months of June and September, that are most desirable, and then it kind of goes from there.
Yeah. Well, it's amazing when you think about all those different aspects of Gervasi, and it started off with just a property purchase a while back.
Yeah, my dad tells the story about, the wedding business came from, really guest demand. We were under construction, we hadn't opened yet. And this young woman stopped and said, hey, are you going to do weddings here? And we're like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. Weddings?
I see mud and construction. What do you think? And she says, well, I was thinking, I always wanted to get married in a winery. I see you have this lake. What if we put a tent up by this open space, where the pavilion now resides? And he was like, that's interesting. We hadn't really thought about that. And pretty soon another inquiry. And before we knew it, we said, why don't we just build our own structure? And so we actually, in our very first summer, had about, I think, 40 weddings.
Oh, my gosh.
Wow.
Now, at that time, we didn't cater them. We used outside caterers, and we just had the facility available that people rented from us. But we've evolved now where we do full-service catering, put a kitchen out there. We do the entire experience. We have, the wedding coordination and everything. So it's grown, but it really started with customers wanting that from us.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's what happens. You were telling a story just a few minutes ago before we were on the air about how exciting it is to you when you hear folks actually doing their own tours of your property.
Yeah, we're really grateful for the support of our community, and one of the things that's been, I guess you don't think about when you're doing it, you're just working hard and putting it together and moving forward every day. But when you get to walk around and hear local people giving tours to their out-of-town guests, or maybe to their daughter who moved away into New York City or California or something, and the pride they have as they walk around and say, well, what do you see this I'm going to show you, and look at this building, and look at this chandelier made out of wine bottles, and I hear it all the time, and it's really gratifying. And probably one of the things I enjoy most is just the community pride that we provided. People feel like Gervasi is part of our community, and we want them to feel that way because that's how we feel about what we've done. And it's something, it's almost like a country club environment that's available to the public.
Yeah,
right.
Something everyone can access, and that's important to us. And so we appreciate that.
Well, somewhere you have to have a bean counter in the company that goes, Scott, you're spending a little too much on the chandelier, don't you?
Well, that would be my dad.
Oh, okay. There's one in every company, I would assume, right?
No. You know what, though? I joke about that. The reality is, one of the things that I think we understand and believe in is that you can't fake it. You have to be authentic. And if you want to provide a Tuscan escape, it's got to feel and look like that, and the details have to be there. You have to invest in beautiful, details and chandeliers and flooring and all the aesthetics of the buildings and beautiful landscaping. If you want to pull it off and you want it to be a world-class experience, you have to do those things. So, we have some bean counters, but the reality is we also believe that's part of who we are, is doing it at a high level, because that's the stuff that differentiates us from, just a more quote unquote average place. And, there are a lot of options people have for hospitality. So you have to, they can go many places for overnight stay or for dinner or, for an event. And we have to really, create our unique, experience that we think defines us.
All right, it's 9:30 on News Talk 1480 WHBC News. Coming your way next, we'll be back with more from Gervasi.
This is Glenn Dumoulin with the Packley and Arnold Lynch Funeral Home, and we invite you to tour our beautiful facility in person and now online. Take a virtual tour of the Packley and Arnold Lynch Funeral Home from the comfort of your own home. The virtual tour brings 3D panoramic experience of street view inside the funeral home, where visitors can see the entire facility inside and out. View the decor and building as if you were there to see our private and public viewing rooms, cremation observation deck, and much more. The virtual tour is part of the online services which are available at arnoldlynch.com. Our interactive, consumer-friendly options at arnoldlynch.com make it simple to purchase flowers, find information dealing with grief and aftercare, locate obituaries, prearranged funerals or cremation with price details, learn about veterans benefits and Social Security benefits, and now take a virtual tour of the Packley and Arnold Lynch Funeral Home. As always, you're invited to visit us at 1100 Wales Road Northeast in Massillon or tour online at arnoldlynch.com.
Okay, so where do more Americans turn first in the morning to start their day? Go on, tell them, Robin.
Good morning, America.
George.
Good morning, America.
Lara.
Good morning, America.
So, take it from Robin.
Put some good in your morning.
With ABC's Good Morning America.
Tune in each Saturday at 7:35 a.m. for the Money Matters radio show. Hosts Bob Foudy and David Ryan help you make your money matter. Learn how today's economy, debt levels, and policies affect your hard-earned money. You worked hard for your money. Now it's time to watch it grow. Tune in to the Money Matters radio show every Saturday morning at 7:35 a.m. to learn how to make your money matter. To speak with Bob Foudy or Dave Ryan about your money matters, call New Horizon Financial Group in Canton at 330-499-1915.
Make 2018 the year you finally fix your water. And at Verndale's Water Center, you won't have to pay until 2019. Call or stop in today.
Tap into Verndale's Water Center. Tap into.
This is WHBC AM Canton. News Talk 1480 WHBC.
I'm Jim Michaels with 1480 WHBC News. Now 13 degrees, another inch or so of snow during the night. Mainly secondary streets now still can be snow-covered and slippery. Some snow parking bans in effect in local communities. Few local school districts, mainly in Tuscarawas County, changing their schedules today. If there's any community and event changes, we'll have them for you at WHBC.com. A deadly Amtrak train accident early yesterday.
Why was the switch in the wrong position? That's what federal investigators are trying to figure out in South Carolina the morning after an Amtrak train was diverted to a different track, crashing into a parked freight train. The engineer and conductor were killed. 116 passengers were hurt, but most injuries were minor.
It's Fox's Dave Anthony there. A Magnolia woman killed in a two-vehicle crash just west of Carrollton on Friday night. State Patrol says 61-year-old Jacqueline Warner was killed in the accident on Route 171 in Harrison Township. 27-year-old Ashley Semrock of Canton was driving the other car and was injured in that crash. No word on her condition, though. President Trump visits Cincinnati today. The trip to the Sheffer Corporation is to highlight the company's plans because of the tax reform plan. A number of companies have given raises or bonuses to employees as a result of the tax changes. Melania Trump accompanies her husband, the First Lady, to visit Cincinnati Children's Hospital. And a lot of people visiting Gervasi Vineyard, and they hope a planned hotel and distillery at their Canton facilities will increase that tourist business maybe by 50%.
Really just offering a lot more experiences and things for people to do. So their 1 hour visit or 2 hour visit maybe becomes half a day or overnight or the weekend.
Gervasi General Manager Scott Swaldo says the tourist stop with its winery, 3 restaurants, and overnight options of the farmhouse and the villas now pulls in 200,000 people a year. Construction of the 24-room, 18,000 square foot hotel and distillery starts in March. They're hoping for completion at year's end. More 1480 WHBC News at 10.
Here's your AccuWeather.com forecast. Colder despite a good amount of sun today, the high 26. And it looks like we'll have snow enough to accumulate 1 to 2 inches tonight with a low of 19. cloudy tomorrow with a high of 28. The next storm system's going to come through, bringing snow tomorrow night into Wednesday. A few inches are likely. Otherwise, Wednesday's going to be cloudy and chilly as temperatures stay in the upper 20s. I'm meteorologist Maggie Johnson for News Talk 1480 WHBC.
Now back to Spotlight with Pam and Gary.
Well, I don't know what we're going to discover in the second half of this program of Spotlight, but
it's going to be some history that maybe you didn't know about.
Yeah, let's find out.
Yes, well, let's remind everyone, this is a special edition of Spotlight on Stark County on this Monday morning. Pam Cook and Gary Rivers with you this morning. And Gervasi Vineyard adding a hotel and a distillery. We're talking with owner and general manager of GV Destinations, Scott Swaldo. And Scott, we were talking about the different places, and I said, you know, you go there for so many different reasons. You know, you can go for a casual dinner, a more formal dinner. You can just go and stop in. I stopped in to buy some wine and some olive oil and things like that. But you've made some additions to certain things. Let's talk a little bit about that and the history behind it.
Yeah, well, the bistro is our cornerstone restaurant. Was the first thing we opened with, in the beautiful historic barn from 1823, and what's interesting about the property is there's quite a bit of unique things that have happened there in terms of what the property was. It was a sawmill, then a dairy farm, then a tree farm. But beyond that, there was a very famous shooting on the property in 1922. Wow. I think a lot of people in Canton know that Canton was sort of was a little bit of a gangster town in between Chicago and New York, going back to the 1920s. And there was it's a long story, but the short version is there was basically a kidnapping of a Canton police officer and a kind of a chase that ensued where they ended up on the property right at the barn. There used to be a corn crib where the bocce courts are, and there was a shooting that went on with a posse of local residents, and several people were killed. There was a gentleman his name was Oklahoma Slim, who ended up, one of the gangster guys who ended up in the hospital and died, and he was mummified, and his body is now in the National Medical Science Museum in Washington, D.C. So I'll give you the short version. There's quite a lot of details in between.
Oh, my gosh.
Oklahoma Slim. Love that name.
Yeah, you can't make this stuff up.
Yeah.
No.
So anyway, we actually just at the bistro last week went to full bar service. Of course, being a winery, we've always had our wines and just a few beers, but we decided with the distillery upcoming, it was time to go to full bar service. So we built a cocktail menu, a craft cocktail menu, around the 1922 shooting story. So it's called 1922, and there's a little blurb inside about the story that was actually an excerpt from the repository article. And then the drinks are things like the Oklahoma Slim.
Well, sure.
The Shootout Spritz. We have a Posse's Punch.
Oh my gosh.
There's a gentleman, the policeman that was kidnapped, his name was Dutch. So there's Dutch's Daiquiri and some really wonderful cocktails that are really unique. And then we also have full bar. So if somebody wants just their old favorites, they can get those as well.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. That's fun.
Oh my gosh. That's really nice. I'm seeing murder mystery. I don't know why.
Yeah. You never
Bizarre.
Yeah.
Well, when people do the winery tours, one of the things we do besides talk about how to make wine is we give them a little history of the whole property, and people really enjoy that. So this is one of the things that we share with people, a little more detail.
Oh, my gosh.
So go over again, because if someone's just tuning in right now and we have been talking about the expansion, tell everyone a little bit about what that's going to be like again for you.
Well, we currently have the 24-room villas in the form of 6 4-bedroom villas. So this will be a brand new one-story building that is 24 rooms of its own. So we're doubling our capacity. They will not be in the form of villas. It's going to be a new style where there'll be more like shared lobbies and a corridor connecting. But every room will be an individual suite with a beautiful outdoor veranda that's covered, overlooking more of a European-style courtyard, which will have a pond at the back of it that we'll be putting in. So a lot of the same luxury amenities that we currently have in the villas, like heated floors and stone floors, heated towel bars, big vaulted ceilings with wood beams, just really, really decked out, beautiful luxury spaces, very large rooms. And then the other part of the project then is the distillery with the craft cocktail lounge, and it'll have the production area available for tours, as well as the public area that you can come in and do tastings and just hang out, and more of a lounge environment, less restaurant. It'll be more like soft seating and cocktail tables and things like that. So creating another unique experience, something different.
Well, you've got this vision in your head, and you're sharing it with us. It must have been a blast sitting in on the planning and creating this whole ambiance.
Absolutely. That's my favorite part of this. I love, the creation of it, as you say. And really, this current project really started with, in terms of what it looks like, with you just get online, of course, the wonders of the internet now, and started Googling images, and I found a image of a Tuscan chapel in Tuscany, an open-air chapel that just caught my eye, the aesthetics of the building and the space. And our whole family loved it and said, let's build the look around this authentic chapel. And so while everything's going to fit into what we currently have, these buildings won't look exactly like the others. They're going to be a little more mission style. So a Tuscan mission style with a little more off-white stucco, dark wood accents. There'll be some bell towers mixed in. So it's going to be really stunning, and we're really excited about it. Yeah.
And when we talk about jobs here, we had mentioned this off the air. I mean, what are we looking at in terms of any new jobs for this?
Well, we're looking at probably about 25 jobs for the hotel and for the distillery. Distilleries actually don't take a lot of labor to produce, so that generates a few jobs, but then mostly on the front of house side with, cocktail service, bartenders, and then, of course, with the hotel, all the housekeeping and guest services and things like that. So about 25 new jobs, and that's adding to our currently about 400 jobs year-round, considering the Twisted Olive, and then about 150 more in the summer. So,
which is an amazing number that we were surprised at. We had no idea. Where do you find someone who is a distillery bourbon maker?
Well,
I mean, where do you go for that?
I don't know. I was going to ask you if you could help me find one.
Well, my last trip down to Jack Daniels country, I met a few people. But
actually, we're getting ready to post that position soon.
No kidding.
We're going to start early because it is going to be a little challenge to find that in our area, and we may have to either relocate someone, or the other thing is there is a lot of overlap with craft beer and the craft distillery world in terms of the process. So someone who understands how to make beer will have a lot of the fundamentals to make spirits. Now, around that, if that's the route we end up going, we have consultants hired who will be helping us, just like we did with wine. We hired consultants to teach us and how help us develop those skills and all that expertise. So that's what we'll be doing very soon.
Well, how about that?
That's amazing.
Yeah, looking forward to so much of all that. Gervasi is just expanding and continuing to grow, which to us it feels great because it's just another aspect of all the interesting, fun things that are happening in Stark County.
Yeah, it's a great time, and we're obviously all very excited about the Hall of Fame project, and we certainly feel, I had the question asked to me, are we doing this because of that project? And I would say, no, we would be doing it anyway, but we certainly value that opportunity that's going to provide us. When you bring tourists in, even if they're coming for a sports reason, they're going to be looking for other things to do.
Sure.
Staying multiple days, which the Hall of Fame Village project is all about. We hope to really benefit from that, and we feel like this is a good investment because not only we feel like we can build on our own success, but the Hall of Fame Village will help us, even further and make our investment worth it.
All right. Well, we're here right at the first part of February. Are you booked solid for Valentine's Day already at the restaurants?
We're not. We actually have some options available. I think people book Valentine's a little more in the final week, I think, before.
You mean the guys do?
Well, I wasn't going to say that, but I think you might be right. So I think the bistro is pretty full. The Twisted Olive still has options, and then what the Crush House has, we're trying something new. We did this at New Year's Eve, and it was a huge success. We did, because the Crush House doesn't normally take reservations, it's usually just a walk-in option. We put together a pre-ticketed 3-course meal, including some bubbly and some chocolate. So there's a package that you can purchase in advance. We still have some availability on that. It's a high-end, kind of really wonderful experience. You have to call into the Crush House, and information's on our website about that. So that's still available, and we would love to see people Valentine's at the Crush House.
I would imagine it's going to be just a fun experience.
It's a great place to go. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, we were really impressed with the feedback we got at New Year's Eve. We did a very similar thing that night. Of course, we did the past midnight with the party and stuff. And the feedback was just overwhelmingly positive. People loved it and thought it was a great value. And said, please do more of these things, including Valentine's. So that's why we responded to that, interest.
Well, what other types of special events are you plotting
I know
for
you
this
guys
year?
always have stuff every weekend almost.
Yeah, and actually this Wednesday we have, Wednesday and Thursday, but Wednesday evening we have a Art on the Vine event. Laura Pembroke, a local company, is bringing in an art show. So we're like a pop-up trunk show where they're bringing in just a huge collection of art. So that's available Wednesday evening. There's a VIP component for the first hour. You can buy a ticket and have first access with a glass of wine and a coupon to enjoy in the restaurants, or you can come to the open house at 6:30, and excuse me, and that's also on Wednesday during the day. So that's a great opportunity. We also have later in the month we have our winter crawl, which is an opportunity to buy a ticket and stroll the grounds.
Gray, but Kenny and JT brighten your day. Roads are slick, skies are gray. Listen to Gary every day. Forget the poetry. Just turn on the radio or listen on your phone, on air and on demand. Get all the details at WHBC.com.
School bus drivers, custodians, nurses, paraeducators, just a few of the education support professionals who help schools in Ohio run smoothly every day. This is Becky Higgins, President of the Ohio Education Association. They ensure that our students have a safe ride to school, healthy meals, and a clean environment to learn. So take a moment to say thank you to the ESPs in your school.
A message from the Ohio Education Association.
Hi, this is Brad White, your Medicine Center pharmacist. Are you paying big bucks for a little blue Viagra pill? There's a better alternative. Starting at only $4 per dose with a prescription from your doctor, the Medicine Center Pharmacy can prepare a sildenafil or tadalafil tablet that melts in your mouth for an affordable price. This allows you to take care of business and still have money left over for dinner and a movie. The Medicine Center Pharmacy has 4 locations in Stark and Tuscarawas counties. We're here to keep you healthy and save you money. Give us a call at 330-339-4466 for more information.
Message and data rates may apply.
You don't follow the herd. You blaze your own trail. And you're as adventurous in the kitchen as you are in life. Whether it's paddleboard yoga or Peruvian steak, you're the first to try new things. So are we. We're Green Chef, the first USDA-certified organic meal kit delivery service. We offer delicious meal plans for 7 different lifestyles: paleo, gluten-free, keto, vegetarian, vegan, carnivore, and omnivore. Want to be the first of your friends to try Green Chef? Discover our exclusive introductory deal by texting the keyword COOK to 543-543. We believe that cooking, just like life, should be all about experience and flavor. And by exploring dinner options with Green Chef, you'll try new recipes, techniques, and ingredients for bold, new restaurant-level flavors. It's like enjoying a new cooking class, but in your own home. To experience this culinary adventure, text now and discover our exclusive introductory deal. Text COOK to 543-543. That's COOK to 543-543.
Pros in the know start with Lowe's, because whether you're making updates to existing properties or building new construction, Lowe's saves pros time and money every day. Now through February 7th, get 25% off all in-stock kitchen cabinets. Plus, save 5% on every purchase every day when you use your Lowe's Business Credit account. So, Pro, now that you know, let's get started. See the Lowe's Pro Desk for more details. Offer subject to credit approval. Can't be combined with other credit offers. Exclusions apply. U.S. only.
What's happening at the Canton Kid Fest this year? Ready, set, go. Take off on the Camp Choff Raceway. Yep, we're talking indoor racetrack. Canton Kid Fest is a huge indoor event for and about kids. And the coolest thing? Kids 12 and under are free. Canton Kid Fest is driven by SARTA and powered by Canton Baptist Temple and brought to you by Akron Children's Hospital. Canton Kid Fest, Saturday, February 17th at the Canton Civic Center. Details at cantonkidfest.com.
People make your business work. But how do you find the right talent? ZipRecruiter. One click posts your job to over 100 top job boards. Then, smart matching technology instantly alerts quality candidates about your job. No wonder 80% of employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site in just one day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
To try ZipRecruiter for free, just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Forecasters say this time they expect that band of heavier snow.
When the weather turns nasty,
And it looks like it will be a cold day across most of the Northeast.
turn to News Talk 1480 WHBC for the Akron Children's Hospital school closings report.
Pam and Canton's Morning News.
We'll let you know whether your school is closed,
Delayed,
or open for business.
School's going to be closed, so make sure you tune into the radio.
Get your school closings from News Talk 1480 WHBC. Brought to you by Akron Children's Hospital.
where we have one focus.
Kids!
Now back to Spotlight with Pam and Gary.
Wow, did this hour go fast?
I know. I can't believe it. Very, very fast. Our special edition of Spotlight on Stark County, Gervasi Vineyard, and we've been talking to Scott Swaldo, owner and general manager of GV Destinations, and Gervasi's adding a hotel and a distillery. And I got to laugh, the story that you said, that people, they come to the bistro and then they say, oh, is there other things on the property?
Yeah, I still hear that. It just tells me we have work to do, but people that say they visited the bistro, the piazza, and they say, why, is there something on the other side of the lake? I'm like, oh, yeah, you need to come over and see the villas and the Crush House and the Villa Grande, and, of course, now the new stuff we're building.
Now, I suppose, can anybody really just drive out there and just walk the property just to get away almost?
Absolutely, yeah. And not only do we have, all the walking trails and pathways connecting everything that we have, but we're part of the Stark Parks system. So we have on the east border of our property, we donated land to Stark Parks, and you can go miles in each direction, north and south, on a bike or
that's
a
right.
walking.
The bike path goes past your property,
so you can use one of the trailheads, or where if you're can access the trail somewhere else and end up at Gervasi, or you can do that while enjoying our property.
Yeah,
but I think that might be a great way for folks to discover the property. Just come out and go, oh, check this out.
Exactly, and the new distillery is going to be directly adjacent to the trail. So we're really going to promote the ability to, jump on the trail right from there, because it'll be the building that is the most connected to it of any of them. So that we think that's a really great opportunity to have a nice experience.
Yeah, I think so. Well, that's great. So folks who have not necessarily ever gone out there, and I don't know why, because it really is, you can spend a great afternoon out there.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think there's a misconception that, Gervasi's, maybe just expensive and high-end and only for maybe special celebrations. But we like to remind people that even at the bistro, you can come in and have a glass of wine and a pizza. And then certainly the Crush House, the Piazza are much lower price point. So, you can just come out and, go to the marketplace and go for a walk. I mean, there's all different things to do. You don't have to make it a big outing that spend a lot of money.
If you haven't seen the villas, though, I would suggest that they come and take a tour of those, because you look at them from the outside, they're beautiful, but it does not even do them justice unless you walk through them.
Yeah, they're pretty stunning. We're really proud of them. They have really authentic Italian and Tuscan, finishings with beautiful furniture, and then these amazing stone floors and stone inside. Every room has a fireplace. I think one time we counted on property, we have over 35 fireplaces on property.
Oh my God!
So we like fireplaces, but we like to keep it somewhere that's enjoyable for the winter too, and not just about summer.
Yeah, and explain how the villas are set up, because there's a common room, right?
Right. So you go into each villa. So if you rented a room with us, or you could rent a whole villa, but if you rent an individual suite, you would have a key that got you into your villa, which is like a little house. So it'd be a common area that has a baker's rack with complimentary beverages. There's breakfast is served to that in the morning, and then that area has a beautiful view of the lake, a patio, a fireplace. Then there's 4 rooms off of that, 2 on each side. So your individual suite would be obviously what you would access, and then each room has a fireplace and all the amenities we talked about. So it's really a unique experience.
It is, and they're all different.
They are. We have 3 different styles of them, in terms of 3 in a red motif and 3 in a gold, and then there's kind of like a left and right hand version. But each room is unique and has beautiful furnishings.
Yeah. I loved it. It was awesome to go out there and just look around.
Yeah, it is. It's beautiful. All right. Well, the reason we brought you in initially was to talk about the expansion. Yep. So you've got all of this already, if they haven't seen, but yet the expansion starts in March, should be done by the end of, hopefully by the end of this year.
Yeah, we hope to have some of it open by the end of this year. Again, some of the components may spill over into to early 19. But one of the things we're good at is moving fast. The whole the entire villa operation was built in 6 months and opened after the 7th.
Really?
So, yeah.
Oh,
So
my gosh.
I don't know if we can do it quite that fast this time, but we're certainly going to shoot for it.
And you're hoping for, what is it, 24 rooms is what you're adding?
24 new rooms, so that to our current 24, plus we also rent the farmhouse. That'll give us 49 options for people to enjoy.
Right. I suppose if somebody wants to take the tour right now while they're sitting in their PJs at home, they can go up to your website and check it all out, right?
Absolutely. There's website's pretty well developed. We've got lots of information there, and we'll be sharing the project on there on Facebook as we go. Lots of pictures, and expect the name. Do announce renderings and the naming in probably middle end of March.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. What it was going to be named?
Yeah, we're not quite ready to announce it yet. We're still fine tuning the logo and a couple details, but I think the names are pretty cool, and we're excited about that. And I think the renderings will really get people excited because these buildings are really beautiful.
Wow.
Now, I'm looking at also, if you go to the website, which is gervasivineyard.com.
Yes.
I'm looking at the events calendar because we were talking about Valentine's Day, but beyond that, you've got some things already set for the month of March, too.
We do. We always have our Flights and Bites, which is select Tuesdays every month. That's an opportunity to do like a food and wine pairing experience in the bistro up in the balconada, the loft. And that's led by one of our wine stewards. That's like something you can do just for like 45 minutes before or after dinner. Then in March, also the weekend of the 16th, we have our annual chocolate weekend. I think this is our 5th annual one. Friday night, there's a chocolate stroll. These are all ticketed events. We have a cooking class Saturday evening. Chocolate for dinner. We also have a chocolate and wine pairing experience Saturday afternoon. If somebody wanted to have a wine professional take them through a chocolate and wine pairing experience, and that's always popular. And then on Sunday, we have a truffle making party.
Yeah, Pam was interested in that.
A truffle making party, yes.
Yeah, we had I think we had about 80 people sign up for that last year. So you come in, there's a professional truffle maker who comes in, and everyone walks out with truffles that they made. And the best part is you have fun while you're doing it.
Yeah.
You get to have a little wine while you're doing it too, which is never bad.
Oh my gosh.
Never a bad thing. Well, a lot of great stuff on here, and if people want to sign up for these things, they can just do that through the website. Is that right?
Exactly. If you go to gervasivineyard.com and then just look for GV events, that's where you can find all of the specific things that we produce ourselves. So whether it be wine and food pairing experiences, you want to do one of our complimentary winery tours, all the information can be found on our website.
And you can actually shop online too, just for those folks who maybe, like you say, just want to go, they want to look at the wine or other things. You can actually shop online.
Yeah, we sell our wines online. We can ship to about 7 or 8 states, of course, including Ohio. And then we also have some of our GV logo apparel and items that are popular that people can also purchase online, and of course gift cards.
Yeah.
Awesome
My
stuff.
gosh.
I know.
Just absolutely loaded with fun stuff. And of course, if you've got nothing better going on today, you can stop on by and have lunch, right?
Yep. We have every day, 7 days a week, we have a lunch or dinner option. So Monday through Saturday, the lunch option would be the Crush House. And then on Sundays, it's the Bistro. And then there's a lot of overlap. You have to check the hours, but there's always a lunch or dinner option every day.
And you can make reservations right online too.
Correct. For the Bistro has reservations online. The Crush House has call ahead seating, so you can do that on the day of the day you're wanting to come. And then Twisted Olive Offsite has reservations as well.
Awesome. Well, busy time
great,
out
Scott.
there. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for
this
having
morning.
me. I appreciate the opportunity to talk about the project in Gervasi.
All right, Spotlight on News Talk 1480 WHBC.
Got a news tip?
Local news matters to me.
I like to hear what's going on locally.
Email us at news